Hello everyone, welcome back to Rev Sports. I'm Shorjani Chatterjee and joining me is Devashish Sen and Snehashish Mukherjee.
I'm not audible.
This is the post match show, and we all know that Punjab Kings
I'm
they faced
rejoined.
their first defeat of the tournament. They faced their first defeat of the tournament, and to be very honest, it was a little surprising because initially, after the kind of innings that Marcus Stoinis played, we all expected, we all expected Punjab to do very well. But in the bowling lineup, also, I feel that they struggled a little bit. But having said that, Snehashishda, my first question to you is: how good was Marcus Stoinis? Because when he came into bat, Punjab they were kind of suffering a batting collapse, and then the partnership that he was building with Sreyash Iyer, and we all know that Sreyash was playing the anchor. He was not getting those runs easily. He was trying to score, but then Marcus, in the last over specifically, the way he hit. So, what are your thoughts on Marcus Stoinis?
Yeah, I think it was a good knock because before this match, I think he got very limited opportunity to showcase his potential. Not potential, he's a proven star, not potential. But in 4 innings, before today's knock, he only got 4 opportunities to bat and scoring 48 runs. But today, the way Marcus Stoinis batted, especially that last over, just think, with those important 24 runs, they managed to cross that 200 run mark and ended up, 222. Otherwise, they could have ended around 200 or maybe 210. But superb knock. The last over, two sixes, three fours against Brijesh Sharma. I think he was brilliant. Excellent, 62 unbeaten. But still, at the end of the day, it went in vain. The way, Rajasthan was batted. I think full of intent, apart from Dhuk Judel. I think he struggled a bit in this track. Otherwise, every batter chipped in. And the strike rate, if you see the strike rate of every batter in RR, I think that was a clear difference, and especially Shubham Dubey, the proper impact player. The decision of using him as an impact player brought the proper impact, and the way he finished the game, along with Donovan Ferreira, excellent knock again. I think superb. So good win for RR. I think in the context of the playoff race, it's a huge win for them, especially when you're defeating a team who were unbeaten till now. But for Punjab, it's okay that they have now lost a game, but I think in a long run, it should not make a big it should not be a big concern for them. I think they will be okay despite this loss. Mute,
I apologize.
mute.
Devashish, I remember we were talking about the batting lineup of Rajasthan Royals, and we were discussing how the top order is only performing, and the middle order they are not up to the mark. But having said that, we saw a complete batting unit today from Rajasthan Royals. Your thoughts on that?
I would still say that the platform was set by Vaibhav Suryavanshi and Yashasvi Jaiswal. And especially the way Vaibhav started that six of Arshdeep and that helicopter shot against um, uh, who was it? Who was the bowler? I, I I think it was Jansen. He's obviously that helicopter shot.
Marco Jansen, yes, Marco Jansen.
And I think that set the tone. And obviously once Vaibhav got out, just took it from there. But unfortunately, he got out immediately after he got his 50. But having said that, I think Rian Parag once again he got a start, but unfortunately he got out. But then it was left to Donovan Ferreira. Means we heard a lot about him. Means obviously in South African cricket, but and we saw a few glimpses when he was in India for the T20I series. But finally coming good, and it was a huge call to drop Simran Hetmeyer, and I think that now that Rajasthan Royals might just stick with this combination. Donovan Ferreira might just prove to be the player to watch out for, and I think with Shubham Dubey being as impacts up, I think so. All of a sudden, Rajasthan Royals, I think this is a huge morale boosting win because last season also, if you see, it was after the mid-season. They started the well last season also, but after the mid-season they started doing badly. And but this time round, it's a huge morale boosting win to win in against Punjab, who was undefeated till now. But yes, overall, I think great win.
Vaibhav, you must be really disappointed after looking at Lockie Ferguson, because we remember in the pre-show you were very excited and you were saying that you're very happy that he's finally playing and he's going to bowl. So, what are your thoughts on his pair?
I never said I am happy that he's back. I just mentioned the point that Lockie Ferguson and Suryan Shedge is back. I mentioned about
But you
Donovan
were
Ferreira.
you were excited to see him, weren't you?
No, no, there was no sense of excitement. It was just that Lockie Ferguson is back and he's back after a long break. Like half of the season is done and now he's joining the squad. Obviously, it didn't impact Punjab's. In fact, he came and Punjab lost their first game. Xavier Bartlett was didn't do anything wrong to be dropped, but again, like Lockie Ferguson's form, whenever he was available, was always the first choice bowler for them. But I mentioned about Donovan Ferreira that RR should utilize him properly in the pre-match, and that's what happened. People have criticized. I remember you saying about Donovan Ferreira that Donovan Ferreira or somebody else has said that Donovan Ferreira, what kind of role he's playing, he's not looking that impactful. But I mentioned about that innings that he played against SRH when RR were very close to beating RCB's 49 total. But then Donovan Ferreira in that partnership with Ravindra Jadeja, they built the team out. In that match also, he scored a half century. This game also, but this game he got more balls to bat, and that's what happens when you give more balls to a destructive batter like Donovan Ferreira. He has played franchisee leagues all around the world. He's a very experienced campaigner, and he hits the ball hard as any batter in the world, even as hard as Tim David. So there is a good reason why Donovan Ferreira is a very likable commodity, especially in this format of the game, because he's a four-dimensional player. He's not 3D, or he's not just a batter. He can keep as well. He can bowl as well. He's a good fielder, and then he showed us what he can do with the bat. So it's about, as I said, RR has to only sort their entry points when they have to send in a Riyan Parag, when they are sending a Shubham Dubey. Shubham Dubey again, Shubham Dubey for Vidarbha, he's been very good. Even if you look at his white ball record, that's why RR have enforced their trust on him. That's why he's being retained season after season, despite not being a first choice player. So again, Shubham Dubey also contributing really well with the bat, coming, and that was the support that Donovan Ferreira also needed. And that tells you that RR also banks on Shubham Dubey when it comes to the big hitting prowess. But overall, a very good win. I think everything went RR's way. We were talking about whether Ravi Bishnoi's absence will be felt or not. But see, Yashraj Punjab first over gave 15 runs. But the way he made a comeback in the next over, first got Cooper Conley out, and then a well set Prabh Simran Singh. Prabh Simran Singh could have easily scored a 80 plus. He was set. He could have played a long innings, but then a timely wicket, and he emerged the best bowler from the RR camp. 2 wickets, most successful bowler for RR this game. So I think overall everything went in RR's way, despite a good spell, a brilliant spell by Yuzvendra Chahal. Punjab Kings just were not good enough.
Vaibhav Bhai was talking about Yuzvendra Chahal, but that brings up to another spinner, that is Ravindra Jadeja. And having said that, we had discussed, in the previous match he had only bowled one over, and then Riyan Parag had justified his decision by saying that the track was not assisting the spinners. But today we saw him bowl his quota of 4 overs. So Snehashish da, your thoughts on Ravindra Jadeja's bowling today?
I think he didn't pick up a wicket, but economically eight per over. I think it was a decent outing. I will say with the ball. I think Devashis mentioned that in the pre-show that today we might see more of the Jadeja the bowler, and it happened only that thing that Riyan Parag today used Jadeja the bowler. And as I mentioned, that despite not taking a wicket, I think 8 runs per over. It was a decent outing. But see, I think I think as Vaibhav mentioned, I think Yash had a very good day despite a difficult start, I will say, in his spells. But 2 big wickets. Cooper Colony was looking good the way he was batting. That's a big wicket, and then a well set Prabh Simran Singh. We all know how dangerous Prabh Simran can be if he stays long. So I think 2 big wickets. And with spinners, I think more than the economy, the wicket matters. Doesn't matter how many runs they are giving. If they are giving those breakthroughs in the middle overs, I think that matters more for the team. I think so. In that case, that he did the job. The decision of playing him instead of a well-informed, Ravi Bishnoi worked for RR. It gone well. And see, in the in the opposition also, the spinner did well. Chahal 3 wickets for 36, again 3 big wickets, and see Harpreet Bhatt coming as an impact player, though he went wicketless, but see the economy, only 25 runs in 4 overs. So as a spinner, both of them did well, but it was the pacers that they failed completely. I think for Punjab, Arshdeep, I think what 68 runs in 4 overs. Ferguson playing his first game didn't look that good, in terms of rhythm and everything. Marco Jansen also had a very rare off day. So I think overall, other batter targeted the pacers. Maybe the dew might be a big factor. Maybe that played a key role. Maybe, but overall, I think it was a day where RR everything RR had planned, everything gone to their way, and a big win for them in the context of the playoff. That is for sure.
Devashish, coming to you, we were discussing about the pace unit of Punjab Kings, but what we have to keep in mind is that the pace unit of Rajasthan Royals, they were also a little expensive today. Jofra Archer did not have a good day at the park. He gave 40 runs in his 4 overs. Nandre Burger was very expensive. Brijesh Sharma was expensive. So coming forward, do you see someone like a Sandeep Sharma coming into the squad?
Yeah, that might be an option. That might be an option, but I won't say Jofra Archer bowled. You look at his first over. That was Jofra bowled one of the best. Means it was menacing. Means all the 6 balls that he bowled in his first over. Means and how can you say? Means obviously he is still too good, and he is the lead, one of the leading wicket takers. Rajasthan Royals pace attack relies heavily on Jofra Archer. And Nandre Barger, you might say Nandre Barger was not at his best today, but Jofra Archer, yes, he see in this
Also,
format you might.
Devajija, sorry to interrupt you, but this was the first game this season that Jofra conceded 40 runs in a game.
Absolutely. But I am just talking about his fast over. Means that fast over was just simply menacing. Means Priyank Saria could have been out at a couple of chances. First time there was no fast slip. He was pissed off. And then second time, Jaiswal could have latched on to the catch. Means he timed his jump, but it touched his fingers and went to the boundary. So and then eventually got him out. So I think yes, there is a opportunity for Sandeep Sharma to get back in. But yes, Punjab Kings, it's they would take it. They would take it in its stride, because in a long league there will be slight hiccups. It's their first loss, but overall I think it is Rajasthan Royals who outperform Punjab, especially with Donovan Ferreira and Shubham Dube. Means when Rian Parag got out, the score was 151 odd. Still, more than 70 runs were needed, and it looked like, again, given that the Rajasthan Royals middle order hasn't fired, I think, and the Shubham Dube actually started taking on the attack, and then Donovan Ferreira came into the party. So I think they will feel very confident after this win.
Vaibhav, if we talk a little about the partnerships also today, I think Prabh Simran Singh and Priyan Sharia, that was a good partnership. But what we have to keep in mind is that Cooper Connolly and Prabh Simran Singh also made a partnership of 59 runs, and I think that was also beneficial if we keep set aside Marcus Stoinis' innings. So what would you say on that?
See, obviously they started really well. Priyan Sharia gave the start. Obviously, there were plenty of edges. He was clearly in the he never looked settled against Jofra Archer. He was edging the most settled batter that against Jofra Archer was that he looked was Prabh Simran Singh. Prabh Simran Singh looked authoritative against Jofra Archer. Apart from that, but still that tells you something about Priyan Sharia. Even if he's struggling, even if he's not looking comfortable, he knows how to score runs, and he score runs because he has that positive attitude. So got a good start, but I think there was a phase when Shreyas Iyer was struggling. There was 14 deliveries he took for his 9 runs. So, but then Prabh Simran Singh took the pressure. Before that, what was happening? Prabh Simran Singh was playing the second fiddle. In the Priyan Sharia partnership, the first wicket partnership, the second fiddle was played by Prabh Simran Singh. Even with Cooper Connolly, he was playing the second fiddle. But when he saw that the captain is struggling, he took the onus of scoring, and then he led the charge. Even when Shreyas Iyer came into bat, Rian Parag quite smartly introduced Jofra Archer, but then Prab Simran Singh was there, and Prab Simran Singh struck two boundaries of Jofra Archer to put pressure back on RR. So I think Prab Simran Singh did really well to ease off pressure from ease the pressure of his captain. So overall, it was good. See, Punjab Kings batting display was, given the way wicket was behaving. It was not a flat wicket. It was holding up. It was a bit too paced. Yash Raj Punja showed that there is plenty of help for the spinners as well. We saw what Yuzvendra Chahal did. Harpreet Brar, look, he played his first game and how economically he bowled. I think he created the pressure, and Yuzvendra Chahal got the rewards. And that's how bowling partnerships work. But I think it was all about that last partnership, that 72-run partnership between Donovan Ferreira and Shubham Dube. Even if you look at after the batters to follow, it was Ravindra Jadeja and Dasun Shanaka. Ravindra Jadeja hasn't finished a lot of games in the last few seasons, but if you look at Dasun Shanaka's record as a finisher for Sri Lanka, it's quite good. So that tells you something about RR's depth as well. If you are using your resources smartly, like they used Shubham Dube in this game, they sat out as Shimran Hetmeyer, Donovan Ferreira was promoted. Look how you got the results. You got the results on the basis of your weakest link. What was your weakest link? Your middle order. Your middle order stood up in this game. And if not for that partnership, the game was gone. But Arshdeep Singh, crumbled under pressure. Marco Jansen, the experienced bowler, the world-class bowlers of Punjab, they crumbled under pressure. So I think batters did really well for Punjab Kings, but they would be disappointed with the way they bowled, especially in the final 5 hours. Yes, you will say excellent batting. Some of the shots were really good, but poor bowling as well, poor execution from Punjab Kings.
Definitely, and Snehashish, while Vaibhav Bhai was talking about Sanaka, what you need to also keep in mind is that Dubey, I mean, he was sent ahead of someone like Dasun Sananka and Ravindra Jadeja. So, what would you say about that decision?
Sending Shubham Dube, right, ahead of them.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
See, personally, I'm very happy, to see Shubham Dube back in action, because I think last year, I think he did enough. He did enough to, to prove his worth. I think last year also, I think he played around 8 or 9 games, if I'm not wrong, and most of the games, as impact sub only. And if you see his strike rate is around 160 to 165 in last season also. And today, the way, I think he batted today also, I think excellent. I think he showed that, the glimpses that he can finish the games. He has that ability in last season, and this season also. I think today he proved that again. Excellent knock under pressure. It was not easy, because as Devashis mentioned, that when he came out to bat, they needed around 65, 70 run needed at that stage, and it was not really easy. And you come in, and from the ball one you start to hit. So the partnership, and I will also give credit to someone like Donovan Ferreira to have that faith on someone like Shubham Dube, that okay, this guy can play. I can give this. I can play the second fiddle. I can wait for I can take the game deeper. So and he can play his shots. So I think everything worked according to their plan, and Shubham Dube played excellently. The strike rate showing that thing. And see, I think in this chase, as I mentioned, apart from Dhruv Jurel, see every batter strike rate in that other lineup. I think that shows what should be the intent, what should be the mindset when you're chasing a target like 220 plus in modern day T20 cricket. It doesn't matter you are scoring 40, 50s or 80s. It's about the strike rate, the impact. And see, even that Riyan Parag, yes, he didn't score that much, but the strike rate, today the strike rate is very quite high. That helped his team in overall. So I think overall, I think as a unit they clicked, and this is all you need from a team, especially when you're looking for a win against a team who has been so dominating so far in this tournament. So excellent outing, and I think it was a great move to send someone like Shubham Dube and showing that faith that he can do the job, and he just repaid that with a fantastic knock.
Devashish, we all know that Dhruv Jurel is a capable batter, and we've seen him perform for his team earlier. But today, clearly he was struggling. The intent was there, but he was not being able to time the ball properly. So, do you feel it's just a bad day in the office, or is there something wrong with him?
No, no, no. I think it was just one bad day at the office. Means I won't doubt Shivam Dhruv Jurel. He has been fantastic behind the wickets as well, and so actually I would just want to talk about Suryavanshi. Once again 400 runs, and remember in our documentary he was speaking to he spoke to his Ranji Trophy teammate Himanshu Singh, where he said that his ambition will be to score 600 runs, and that is very much on. 400 runs after 9 matches, and another 200 runs, and I think that that's very much on, and he is almost there to hit the maximum sixes after Chris Gayle. So look at his strike rate, means, and that helicopter, that was, in fact, that helicopter shot was hit against Lockie Ferguson, not Marco Jansen. Second over, obviously, he already hit a free six of Arshdeep Singh, but that first six of Lockie Ferguson means you are left in awe. Now, how can this batter, means, how can he make it so simple? The more you see Vaibhav Suryavanshi, means, you are amazed. And the kind that, but unfortunately he got out. But I think overall, if you look at this Rajasthan Royals batting, I think they have just got the right batting lineup. And Vaibhav mentions a very good point, that the entry point in a T20 game, it is very important when you are sending your player, means, obviously, to promote Shubham Dubey as an impact sub ahead of someone like a Ravindra Jadeja and Dasun Sanaka. That speaks volumes of the strategy, means, and all credit to Sangakkara and the RR management. And these are calls that actually wins you matches, and today was the perfect example.
Definitely, and while we are talking about Vaibhav Suryavanshi, I think we also have to mention Yashasvi Jaiswal, because both of them, the way they anchored the innings and the way they played. Vaibhav, you saw both of them play, and they have been really complementing each other well. But if I have to ask you about Yashasvi Jaiswal, what do you think makes him so unique?
See, I think he understands his role and he understands that he is a senior player in this team now. When he was retained at a same bracket as a Sanju Samson, he knew that he is going to play a very big role, and this is his franchise. RR brought him, like Vaibhav Suryavanshi at a young age. They discovered RR discovered Vaibhav Suryavanshi. Similarly, 2020, if I'm not wrong, it was the season when they first brought Yashasvi Jaiswal, and I think from there it has been the evolution of the batter. They RR have discovered a lot of players. Ravindra Jadeja is one of them. Then you have a recent examples. You have a Yashasvi Jaiswal, then Vaibhav Suryavanshi. Vaibhav Suryavanshi also, they spent 1.1 crore to bring him in the auction. Basically, that tells you that we have talked enough about MI scouting, how MI scouting team is so good, whether it is CSK, RCB more recently, they have been doing really good with their scouting. But RR have been very consistent right from the start, right from the inaugural season, I believe. So Yashasvi Jaiswal, I think the hallmark of Yashasvi Jaiswal is he is also very young, but the maturity that he has, and it comes with playing international cricket. Because he has played so much international cricket at a very young age across all conditions, has 100 in England, has 100 in Australia, has done extremely well in Test cricket. If you do extremely well in Test cricket across formats, even if you look at his T20I career, and recently last year he scored his maiden one-day century as well. So Yashasvi Jaiswal, to me, is the most accomplished left-handed batter in the country right now, technically most sound, and that tells you it's not, if you are confining him to just Test cricket or one-day cricket, that he only plays 1 to 4. It's not like that. If you look at his strike rate, obviously consistency has been an issue. If you look at Yashasvi Jaiswal's IPL record, but yeah, now last season also and this season, he's coming to his own, and that is only happening because now he's understanding that although he's not a part of the leadership group, he's not a vice captain or something, but he understands as a retained player, as one of the top players of the franchise, it's his responsibility. Let Vaibhav Suryavanshi bat the way he wants. Yashasvi Jaiswal will take the calculative risk. He will take the calculative approach, and he will make sure that he's taking to the team to the at least to the finishing line. If not, he is there at the end. That's what his role is as an opener, to bat deep, to make sure that he bails his team out of the trouble and pushes for a win. And that's what he's been doing against MI. He did that today also. He did two quality opposition against MI. Also, he scored a half century. This game also he scored a half century. So against two quality oppositions, Yashasvi Jaiswal brought his A game. That tells you that against big teams, Yashasvi Jaiswal will always bring his A game into the forefront.
But while we started the show, the only question that we had in our mind was what went wrong for Punjab today. And over here, Suman Avasti says that Shreyash really played a slow inning and poor bowling execution by Arshdeep cost Punjab the match. Snehashish, your take on this?
Yes, I think Shreya Share did look up, didn't look that much fluent that he has been looking so far in this tournament. That is for sure. But still, I think, with the kind of bowling unit they have, I think 222 was not a bad score. Obviously, that knocked, as I mentioned, that, the way Marcus Stoinis, managed that, the last over against Brijesh Sharma, I think that was fantastic. That, obviously gave them that the momentum, a strong momentum, hitting 24 runs in the last over and were going to the dressing room with a 222 on the board. I think the momentum was on the on the home side. But I think, as I mentioned, the Pacers, three Pacers had a very off day, and I think it didn't help them at all. And it is very unlikely, throughout the tournament we have seen how good Arshdeep has been with the ball, with the new ball, especially in the death over. We also talked about that thing in the pre-show also, that in the death overs maybe he needs to work on. But with the new ball, I think he was brilliant so far. But today it was not the case. And I think using Lockie Ferguson didn't go that well. I think now they might be thinking it could have been better to go with someone like Xavier Bartlett. At least he was playing those games. And obviously another update for area update for Marco Jansen. So I think the spinner did the job. It was not easy, but as I mentioned, maybe Dew played a factor, but mainly because of those three pacers. I think they had a very rare off day, and that is why other batters took the advantage and they killed the chase, 4 balls to spare. I think superb job by them, but I think nothing much to worry for PBKs or PBKs fans. I think one loss in a long tournament like IPL doesn't matter. I think overall the quality, the brand of cricket that they have been playing, not only this year, I think since last year, I think they have been fantastic. One of the top, consistent team, and they are still, despite this loss, they are still the top favorite team to lift the title this year. So I think there is not such big concern about this loss. I think one just off day for them, and I think that they will make a strong comeback maybe in the next game only.
Devashish, over here, Win is Magic. I apologize if I'm not taking your name properly. Says that I don't know why, but Shreyash's record in Mulanpur Stadium is not that good. Punjab scored only 98 runs in 8 to 18 overs. Today, Shreyash and Prab were not at their best. I mean, Prab Simran Singh, he definitely scored 59 runs playing 44 balls. But do you also agree that he was not at his best today?
It's obviously once Priyank Saria got out, it was Prabshibran who actually gave Punjab innings the momentum. See, these things will happen. And 59 or 44, you will take it. You will take it. Obviously he was milking. He was playing shots. So there will be times. Obviously, ideally, you would have loved to see him. After getting that start, that 59 converted into a big knock somewhere in the region of 70-80. See, but again, I think Shreyas Iyer, as is mentioned, I think he was the informed batter as a captain. So a lot. Had Shreyas Iyer been in the middle, then the score would have been a lot more. Obviously, then 222 would have been 240. Then things could have been, but Punjab, I still believe Harpreet Brar and Yajuvendra Chahal brought Punjab back into the game.
Yeah.
After Yashasvi Jaiswal got out, Harpreet Brar and Yajuvendra Chahal got Punjab back into the game. It is actually the three pacers of Punjab who actually let off. And clearly Arshdeep Singh, he has been giving you the breakthroughs even for India, but he has been a bit on giving too many runs at death, which was unlike Arshdeep Singh when he first burst into the scene. It was Arshdeep's death overs. Obviously you invariably used to rely on Arshdeep's death over. But I don't know. Something off late we have been seeing he's going for a lot of runs. In trying to do, but that dismissal when he came round the wicket, 5 of Suryavanshi, perfect Yorker. Obviously credit should be given where it's due. It was Arshdeep that's the presence of mind when he came round the wicket and bowled at Vaibhav Suryavanshi and got his wicket. But again, at the same time, why do you change? It's baffling. Just can't understand why the team management changed the play combination. When Xavier Bartlett was perfectly fit into that Punjab lineup, and then all of a sudden you have a Lockie Ferguson. You cannot blame Lockie Ferguson because it was his. I think it was his first or second match, and so it's not easy. It's not easy to just soon get into the groove. But overall, I would say that it was Punjab's match to lose. Punjab had everything covered. Means after that middle overs by Harpreet Brar and Yaduvendra Chahal, and then obviously until Donovan Ferreira and Shubham Dubey started taking on the attack, Punjab had the game in their hand. So I think, as Vaibhav said, that they will have nothing to worry about. Means it's just a one-off loss. Still they are on top. So, but for Rajasthan, I think it's a huge momentum building win, and that might just give them the right kind of balance this win.
Okay, so we'll take your leave now. We had a very exciting match today, and tomorrow Mumbai and Sunrisers Hyderabad will be playing against each other at the Wankhede Stadium, and Shomikda will obviously be there covering the match. So keep on following Rev Sports. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll be back tomorrow for the pre-show.
Thank you.
Thank you.